Alright, this week we've formally been introduced to graphing or plotting values on a number line. A number line represents the one-dimensional representation, so that's what we've seen is the one dimension where there's just length, so to speak. In mathematics, we're also able to visually graph or visually represent two-dimensional and three-dimensional values. Although three-dimensional values are fun, we are just going to stop our experience in this year with two-dimensional images. The Cartesian plane is formatted to graph values in two dimensions. Before you start to get intimidated by the words, it's a bad habit because you've actually experienced most of the things in math. So if you get caught up in words in math, don't do that, because typically the things that you experience, even though you don't know what they're called, you've kind of experienced enough to kind of know what they're doing. But let's just go ahead and look at it for what it is. Again, I'm not worried about whether you remember it's called the Cartesian plane, but if I don't at least tell you, and that word pops up, then you'll say you have no clue or you've never been introduced to it. So that's part of what I'm here to do. So the Cartesian plane looks like this. Alright, the Cartesian plane, you should notice first off it has two variables that are labeled, and you will see it. This is your x value, this is your y value. Alright, we'll always graph based on the x value first. So what you're going to do on this thing is, let's say that your number was 3, 5, which is what that's going to look like. It means the first thing you're going to do is go on the x to 3 and then go up to 5. And notice how each one of these has a grid. If I took one step forward and one step up, that's where I'd be. 5 steps forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 steps up would be right there. So again, you want to kind of get used to forward and up, forward and up. That's today's work, is going forward then up. Not up then forward, but forward then up. So because of this, again, we can create something called an ordered pair. The ordered pair usually looks like this, where again the first value is your x, which is forward. Your second value is your y, which in today's activity is up. The setup is universal, and the first number always represents x. It will never change. So let's just look at some examples so we can get used to the change in the process. If I were asked to graph the point 3, 5, remember we go forward first. So from 0, this is your 0, 0, 0, kind of like where we started, the center of your number line. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 forward, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. That would be our point. If you're doing this on paper, simply put a L shape here, and then go, since it was 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And following those two should put you around there. It would even help if you labeled that as 3 and that is 5, because you need to know you're going 1, 2, 3 steps forward and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps up to get to where you're going. Key thing to remember is, again, forward first, up second. If I was going to graph the point 2, 9, this represents my x, so I go 2 steps forward and then 9 steps up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be my point 29. Now I know those lines kind of mess people up, but what that is your note. In your notes, it's showing you where to go, because you notice I'm not going 2 up, 9 over. I'm going 2 over, which is your first number, and then 9 up, which is really what you need to be making sure you're paying attention to as you do your notes. To graph the point 7, 1, remember your first number tells you to go forward, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 up, because that's my second number, which puts me right there. Graph the point 6, 3, again, this is telling me to go 6 forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3 means go 3 up. 1, 2, 3, which gives me that part there. Alright. Your homework is going to look like this, which is where it's going to say what value is being graphed. So what you want to do there is count over until you get under it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to be your first value, and it looks like I just went up 1. Good news for you right now is that you will not need to use a parentheses. You just need to put 4 in the first box, 1 in the second box. Remember, you can use the tab key to shift from box to box. So once you type your 4, you can hit tab on your keyboard, it'll move you over here, and then you can type your 1 instead of having to use the mouse and move the arrow around to the next box. What value is being graphed here? Again, same thing. Count over until you get under it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think is enough. 9 is my first number. And then it looks like I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's your skill you're going to be working on as we go through this. G, what value is being graphed? Again, first thing you want to do is go forward and see how far over before we're under it. 1, no. 2, no. 3, yes. So that means I went over 3. And then I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now in real life you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But again, I need you to visually see how my counting exercise was working, where I'm just jumping from line to line and counting. Because this might be new, it might take some time to get your feet under you. Just be patient. If you miss a question, look at the correct answer and try to figure out what you did wrong. Again, just like I said, experience the failure or experience falling short, so you actually do care enough to try to get better at it, and you will eventually get better at it. It just takes time. So this will help you become more accurate with your decision making. As usual, please do not hesitate to reach out if you're having problems with the work. Good luck. I will tell you once again, before I do that, I will tell you once again to remind you, yes, you have a quiz tomorrow. Make sure you do tomorrow's quiz tomorrow. That way when we start next week, you can actually be on time and you can have that. Remember, your next quiz Friday, or your test for next Friday, must be done on Friday. I'm saying this in all your videos so you do not forget, so you're reminded to stay up to speed. Please do not fall behind, because again, the end of the quarter is now about a little over 1 week away. So let's start wrapping this stuff up. Talk to you later.